Okay, so I just finished watching American Werewolf in London, and man, I love this movie more and more each time I watch it. Okay, so American Werewolf in London was made in 1981 by John Landis. Now, John Landis probably sounds familiar because John Landis also did, back before actually American Werewolf in London, Blues Brothers, Animal House. Really interesting thing that I found out while studying on this movie a little bit is that the studios actually wanted Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi to be the main two characters in American Werewolf in London. And it's funny because they had done the Blues Brothers already. And it definitely would have been a different dynamic for the movie if Aykroyd and Belushi had been in it. I think it would have definitely more leaned toward the comedy, but I think Griffin Dunne and David Naughton, who ended up being the two main characters, did a great job in it. They captured the horror part of it while also having the humor part of it as well. I love this movie, as I stated before. It just gets better and better each time I watch it. It's become one of my favorite 31 Days of Horror movies. I like it because it is a horror movie, but it also has some humor elements into it. Landis obviously you know, threw his little thing in there with some humor. Interesting that he actually wrote the script for American Werewolf in London when he was a production assistant for Kelly's Heroes when he was 18 years old. So that was really interesting to find out as well. A couple other things I was going to mention as well for the review for the movie. I just want to throw in a couple facts. All the songs used in the movie have the word moon in the title, so that was pretty cool. He actually tried to get a Cat Stevens song as well, but Cat Stevens actually believed in werewolves and was very superstitious, so wouldn't allow it. It's also the first movie to ever win Best Makeup for a movie for Oscar. They had never had that category until 1981, and of course Rick Baker won the Oscar for the movie. A couple interesting things about that: Rick Baker did the special effects, the makeup for the movie. The interesting thing is he was actually going to be doing and was actually working on The Howling before he did American Wolf in London. John Landis wanted Rick Baker when he did American Werewolf in London. The only problem was Landis hadn't started filming American Werewolf in London yet, didn't have the money for it. So Rick Baker waited and he waited and he waited. Well, he got a call I guess basically to do another movie. So he put all his ideals, started to put his ideals and stuff into The Howling. That was that movie, The Howling. Well, when Landis got the money, the first person he called was Rick Baker. Well, Rick Baker already had a job on The Howling. The story goes that Landis went off on Baker, and so Baker, feeling like he was going to help him out and told him that he would, originally stopped working on The Howling, was only doing as far as he actually let his protege take over for him on The Howling, and Rick Baker went over to American Werewolf in London and did the makeup for that. Another thing that was interesting about Rick Baker and John Landis, Michael Jackson seen the movie for American Werewolf in London, loved it, and wanted Landis and Baker to work with him for one of his videos, and that turned out to be Thriller. It's funny because if you look at Jack in American Werewolf in London, you totally see the undead Jack as he's starting to transform and get more and more decomposed. He actually looks like the zombies from the Thriller video, so you can totally see that influence. And also when David's eyes pop open and he's laying on the little hospital bed, you totally see obviously Michael Jackson when he does that little thing at the end. He's like, ah, ha, 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 you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I love this movie. It's just horror, it's comedy, it's just two guys who were not famous really. David Naughton had only done like, Landis had seen Naughton, who's the main character, David, only seen him in Dr. Pepper commercials. Well, he knew him from Dr. Pepper commercials, so it's not like he was Belushi or Aykroyd. A couple other things I wanted to throw out there for you guys. Let's see. Oh, I love how Griffin Dunne, I hope I pronounced that right, Griffin Dunne, who played Jack. I love how he played the character of Jack. I love how he's always optimistic, he's encouraging, and it's so weird to see that because he's slowly getting more and more decomposed and he's very disgusting looking, but he continues to be happy and optimistic, and those are my favorite parts of the movie, is when Jack is in the same scene with David. I love that. I love the wolf The makeup for the wolf is not, I mean, this is 81, and to this day, this is just my opinion, to this day, this is the best special effects makeup, especially transformation, that let me say that. It's the best transformation in a movie that I've ever seen. You know, right now, I don't want to throw that off the top of my head that it's the best makeup I've ever seen, but I can definitely say without a doubt it's the best transformation scene I've ever seen in a movie, and that's 1981. That's legit awesome. Anyways, guys, I love American Werewolf in London. This is the first review for 31 days of horror reviews. I hope you watch American Werewolf in London if you haven't seen it yet, and if you have, watch it again and see how awesome it is. Thanks for watching this, guys. See you again.